for speed! Go!
Oh shit! Look who's here! Everybody, welcome to Cocktail Time Live, here on Sunday night. The fucking podcast where we're going to drink and talk about video games. And tonight, with me is two people. On your right is Mr. Bob Webb. How you doing, Bob?
Good, how you guys doing?
Doing fine. And with me also tonight for Cocktail Time, someone who's usually not very on Cocktail Time very often, because he thinks he's better than us, right?
Or I'm a busy person.
Is Brad Simons.
Well, I'm usually broadcasting, and since we're broadcasting this now, then I don't have to play games. I can be on the show.
That's pretty good, because something that people don't really know about you is that you hate video games.
Yeah.
You actually hate video. You're actually just in this for the money.
Yeah, the tons and tons of money.
All the money we get. You say, oh, I get paid. I get paid, and look at that. Bam. Warped pins. That was my payment for
What?
PAX last year.
How come I can't see you, Joseph?
Because I'm going direct.
Yeah, you have to look at the feed.
You have to look at the feed to see, but don't do that because there's a delay.
Okay.
So it's a very bad idea.
Okay.
So how you guys doing? Been playing some video games and stuff? We have to do our drinks. We have to talk about what we're drinking tonight.
Yeah.
So Bob says he's got something really involved.
Well,
So,
yeah, it takes a little while to put together.
Should we save this to the end of the show, so everyone can leave after the important stuff?
Were there drinks? What?
No, I'm being a
Being
prick.
facetious?
I'm being a prick. Actually, what it is. I need a haircut. Look at my fucking hair. Look at this. I need a fucking haircut. It's awful.
So I'm just gonna start putting these together.
I look like a douchebag.
But-
What are you doing?
I am doing car bombs.
Irish car bombs.
Yeah. So, I figured, I've been making drinks and shit and whatnot on the show, so I continue that tradition.
Right.
The one show tradition.
The one show
So-
tradition.
I've been, Tara has actually never done a car bomb, so I'm pouring 2 here.
Ah, okay. So you're gonna
I'm
get
gonna
the girl.
get her to take one
Getting the
as
girl
well.
involved.
Oh, yeah.
You know what they say? A couple who slays together stays together.
Yes.
Right.
So this is going to be my shot. The rest of the show, I'm just going to be drinking beer.
Okay. Now explain to the audience, because some of our people are a little young,
Underaged.
a little underage. What is an Irish car bomb?
So car bomb is 2 different...
Why do you keep calling?
things.
Why do you take out the Irish part? Are you afraid of being racist?
No.
Okay.
I just usually call them car bombs because Irish car bomb's too long.
Okay.
So the drink involves a glass with Guinness and a shot of Bailey's Irish Cream.
Mhm.
And then when you're ready to take it, you drop the shot into the glass, drink the entire thing down. Which, unfortunately, takes a long time to get all this shit set up.
Right.
But you'd waste all the good booze by drinking it fast.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part about it. Aside from taking forever to get together.
I do like Bailey's. Bailey's
Bailey's is good.
is good stuff. So, and I do like Guinness as well. We have to watch you drink it. It's not. What are you doing?
What? What?
It's fine.
These are empty.
Oh. Well, now they are. Now they're empty.
Yeah, there was just too much beer. So I got my shot ready.
Nice. So that's basically what you're drinking.
Yeah.
Should we do? Oh, here's my thing. Should we do toast of the show and drinking at the same time? What do you drink at the same time, or should we combine those? We're fluid here at Cocktail Time. We're a dynamic biological beast. We can change however we need to according to the environment. So my question to you is: should we put the what are you drinking tonight and shot in the same segment, or should we extend out the drinking segment even more?
What are y'all even talking about?
This is very, very important stuff.
Well, if you have a shot, just do it up front, and then you can say what you're drinking afterwards.
My shot is iced tea.
Mmm.
What?
I have a
outside.
drink, also a couple, but I have to finish my tea first, and you'll see why later.
Okay. All right. So let's do what we're drinking first today. What I'm drinking is I'm going with my Jeremiah Weed Where is it? Spiked Cola.
You've been enjoying those recently, haven't you?
I do enjoy these, but here's the thing. I always feel awful the next day. Terrible.
Is it? Yeah, is it malt because of the like really low quality alcohol?
It's a very low quality malt beverage. Like this is a step above Cisco, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Now, when I was a young punker guy, I used to drink Cisco at shows and stuff.
well, I don't know why anybody would want to do that to
It
themselves.
makes it very easy to jump off a 20-foot speaker system.
Yeah, it makes it very easy to do a lot of things.
Yeah,
I'm sure you don't remember any of it.
Destroy your life and,
Yeah.
and end up in police cars and fuck strange people behind dumpsters. So
Probably a true story.
yeah, just pull out the different parts and different stories. So Brad, what are you drinking? What 7-Eleven cocktail do you have?
A super big gulp of iced tea. Sweet tea, like us Southerners like.
Right, sweet tea.
I have another drink, but I gotta finish my tea first.
Why do you have to finish your tea first? And why do you have to explain it later? I'm very confused about. You're being very secretive, Brad. We've never kept secrets before. Why start?
You'll
start
find
now?
out. You'll find out.
All right.
I don't want to tell you now.
Okay, we'll save it till later. So anyway, we have a I think we have a good show tonight. I hope so. We're gonna talk about things that we played. We'll be doing some news later, and in the between our two breaks, and after our first break tonight, we're going to be interviewing the Catalyst from Mass Effect 3. It's gonna be good. I don't know how we secured that, but we pulled some strings, some 4-player strings. So look for that after the first break, in about 45 minutes. We'll be interviewing the Catalyst from Mass Effect 3. So let's start off with what we've been playing. Bob, you said you've been playing a bunch of stuff. So probably more than me. I've had a really busy week, so my gaming has been limited to a little bit more of The Witcher 2.
A little
What are we gonna
bit.
do?
A little
Show
bit more
show?
other stuff. Oh fuck! Shot of the show. God damn it! Notes. I have to take more notes. All right, shot of the show. Brad, you go first.
My shot of the show would be I'm shooting my shot at Activision because I don't like those guys.
Why not?
Also, what is shot of the show?
Shot of the show is when we toast something from that week that we liked or, are happy about, taking a drink for something, praising something. It's a way to offer praise to the game industry before we tear it apart for the next 2 hours.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and toast what little I've played of Lone Survivor, which I was just playing a little bit before the show, but it's a surprisingly Silent Hill-ish horror, competent Silent Hill game, even though it's a pixel side-scrolling game. It seems very Silent Hill-y. Like, atmosphere-wise, thematics-wise, it seems pretty good.
Okay.
Can't wait to play more of it.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I shoot indie-developed horror games.
Excellent. I'll go next. I'm gonna toast to CD Projekt Red, because like I said, I've been playing more of The Witcher 2, and that's a really fantastic game. But even more than that, I think The Witcher 2 is kind of an important game because we don't have a lot of hardcore. I dropped my pen. A lot of hardcore RPGs anymore, and it seems like right now it's basically the CD Projekt Red and Bethesda. I mean, keeping that spirit alive, and even Skyrim is kind of a little bit of a watered down RPG as they go. So my toast goes to CD Projekt Red for doing that.
Nice. My toast goes to another. I guess they're kind of indie. Cappy Games, because I've been playing one of the games I've been playing recently, Sword and Sorcery, on Steam, the recent PC release, and that game is fucking awesome.
Okay.
I'm really enjoying that. I'm also looking forward to their.
Co-developed by Cappy.
Yeah, it was Super Brothers, right, and Cappy. And then I'm looking forward to their God, why can't I remember that? Super Time Force coming out sometime next year, maybe.
What is Super Time Force?
Hey,
Super Time
now.
Force. Come on, dude. You hear about that at it was at PAX East. It was a Contra-like 16-bit shooter that you
Right.
play with copies of your past self.
You guys did a Audible
audible impressions on that. Yeah, you can find that on our site.
Yeah, I listened to that.
At 4
Why didn't you listen to it, Joseph?
I've been busy. Too
So I got Tara
goddamn
here so we can do our shot.
Awesome, let's do it. Are we all ready?
Are you ready, Tara?
Are you ready, Brad?
You don't know how to do it, Tara? Well, she's never done one of these. Okay. So you just drop.
Bob, I think you have the camera.
All right, we're gonna adjust the camera so people can actually see. I
know.
keep forgetting Tara's so small.
I'm once again using my
What's
Atari
wrong? You
glasses.
gotta point at the wall over there. You can't blame me for that.
God damn it!
Tara's so thin.
My centipede Atari glass.
There we go.
The opposite of wide.
You ready?
You guys ready? One,
Right.
What
You drop it in. You just drop it in and then slam the entire thing.
1, 2, 3.
Mhm.
Brad, you're not tipsy.
Drink it. Quick. Don't look at it. Just drink it. Quick.
Hang on. It's blocking my...
Yeah! Yeah! That's cocktail time for you.
Want me to finish it?
It's chunky.
That's why you
Chunky.
drink it quick.
Why is it chunky? Oh god, I guess it...
Because it curdles.
No, it curdles. That
It's
sounds
fine.
wonderful. Brad, look at Brad go. Right down.
Well,
Right down
thank you
there.
very much.
That was Tara's contribution. Yeah, that's the thing with the because there's cream in Bailey's.
Right. Yeah.
So when it hits the beer, it kind of gets all like
That
curdly.
makes sense. That makes sense. My desk is a fucking mess. I also have I have fucking sweet tarts today as well.
Sweet
Oh,
tarts?
okay.
Really?
You don't like sweet tarts?
They're okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd
Kinda
rather
just
have nerds
Got a
or
what kind of bullshit is that? Okay.
Never took you for a candy man.
Me? I love
Yes.
candy. I'm a big candy man. You say it 3 times in a bathroom mirror. And Bob's bees come out of the wall.
yeah, exactly.
They come out. But anyway,
Well,
all right.
they're not going to be here tomorrow, so that's going to be great.
You're going to. So tell me about this. All right. So people don't really realize this, but Bob has his walls are filled with giant bees. Is this correct?
They're filled with honeybees. There's one wall that a swarm had recently moved into and made a hive in. You can now actually hear them just by sitting on our couch. You can hear the wall crackle. It's weird.
Wow.
It's disgusting.
Aren't all bees honey bees?
No, there's bumblebees.
Yeah.
And there's
Don't
honeybees.
they all make honey though?
And then there's the bees.
do.
There's the bees' knees.
Birds of bees. Don't forget birds.
The birds
bees.
and the bees. The birds' bees.
Yeah. So we got a beekeeper coming in tomorrow to punch a hole in our wall and grab all the bees. Hopefully,
Is he gonna keep the bees?
yes.
Oh,
He's
he
going
is.
to-
He's capturing
Yeah.
the bees for himself, his own profit.
Is he actually called a beekeeper? I mean, is he the same person that lives in a place where they house bees? He
There's-
actually retrieves bees from people's homes?
And there's-
Yes.
And then there's
That's,
This is
that's his, he's been a beekeeper for about 7 years, and recently he started doing removals of bees that have taken up residency in people's homes.
Does he just put like some peanut butter on his face and they just form a beard right on his? He just sticks his face in the wall.
You
and
can do that.
he
if
pulls
you,
out.
is there
There's a big bee beard.
is there a beekeeper and a bee master?
the bee master.
They have to have sex on the top of a
Yes.
building, and then the bees sort
See, he
of
gets peanut butter. He covers his dick with peanut butter.
Mhm.
Shoves it into the beehive.
right.
He makes a beard.
Had a bee beard on his dick.
Yeah, so they'll be removing those hopefully tomorrow, and we're staying at a hotel since they don't want us.
You
to
can't
stay
even be there when he takes the bees away.
No, unfortunately not, because they get angry.
Well, yes, they're being kidnapped, like that German man kidnapped that girl, kept her as a slave. Or
Exactly,
whatever.
right.
I'm not talking about Hitler.
Just like that.
I'm not Hitler. The other one.
Not Hitler.
The other German guy. So okay, can you film this bee process?
I would like to, but I gotta work tomorrow.
God damn it!
Yeah, I was gonna set up a remote cam so I could watch it, but I don't think that's gonna work.
I really want to see that like firsthand. You know.
I'm surprised you don't actually want to be there. He's retrieving the bees.
Make sure you put on a yellow jacket before we.
I think we're done with those. That's enough.
Not good. All right, let's move on to what we've been playing this week. Let's do it.
Hey, Bob. Wasp, have you been playing?
I can't even follow that up.
It's too much. That's too much. Bob, you start off. If you don't mind.
Actually, I think a couple of us have been playing this. I actually played The Walking Dead yesterday.
I have not played this.
Oh, I
You
played
have
some of
not?
that.
So here's my.
Have you beaten it?
Yeah, I played about an hour of it, maybe, if that.
Okay, it's about 2 hours long, 2+ hours, 2-3 hours if you're
I don't think I've
far
even
on
played
slow.
Oh, that's an episodic thing, right?
Yeah, I think it's what, like $5 on Xbox Live or other places. I can't remember anymore.
it. Hold on, I'll be right back. Just keep talking.
I don't know. I got a review copy, so I didn't actually have to pay for it.
Well, that's nice. So here's my question, because I played their last title, which was the Jurassic Park title. Telltale Games.
Oh God,
And,
what, you played that?
That was terrible. Yeah.
Okay, so it's 25 is what. Actually, no, that's a full season pass, so it's 5 per episode.
Okay. But anyway, the Jurassic Park thing they put out was god awful. It was very good at all.
Yeah,
So,
I know Chris Davis has that, and he plans on broadcasting it at some point.
Yeah, it's basically
So-
it's like QuickTime the movie or QuickTime the game, but
Really?
Wait, what? Oh, the
Jurassic
Park one?
yeah. But this one
So
apparently is a little more like Heavy Rainish.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
I'd say yeah. A little Heavy Rain
Mhm.
crossed with, I guess, your traditional point and click.
Yeah, it's very much like a point and click.
I mean, I'd say it feels more like Heavy Rain just from the perspective, really. I mean, honestly, Heavy Rain is kind of a modern point and click adventure game,
Yeah.
just with a unique control scheme. The reason this probably feels more like Heavy Rain is because it has a more modern camera, I think, than the older point and click adventure games, even the older Telltale stuff, I think.
Yeah, didn't they also do the whole Back to the Future game series?
Yeah, they did Back to the Future, Sam and Max.
Yeah.
The newer ones, not the older ones.
Right.
Oh, this Sam and Max series was pretty highly celebrated.
No,
stuff.
but the newer ones.
But
not the
even
old-
those were supposed to be quite good. I never played any of them, but
No, all the Tell stuff is pretty solid.
right.
So I have my drink here.
Oh, good.
I was inspired by Bob's adult juice boxes from last show that I listened to. So I went to
still have some.
7-Eleven and I picked up a black iguana.
What?
Oh.
Hey, Manty, shut up. Okay.
Brad is very verbally abusive.
But the thing is, I just got it from 7-Eleven, so it's not frozen. So I'm just going to pour it into my glass of ice here. That's now newly formed ice because it used to have tea in it, but it doesn't have tea in it anymore.
The secret is revealed.
So now I have a margarita on the rocks.
Instead of can you put the label up closer? I want to see that. I want to see the iguana for myself. Oh, look at that. Look at him just chilling. He's just a chilling iguana. He got no care in the world. I like how it's iguana.
All right.
All right, so tell me more about the Walking Dead game. So apparently Gary Whitta did the writing for it.
Yeah, Gary Whitta and Sean Vanneman. It was actually developed by Sean Vanneman and Jake Rodkin, who are two members of the Idle Thumbs podcast team, who recently did a Kickstarter that was way successful, even though it's just for a podcast relaunching.
Wow, man.
They raised like $150,000.
That's more than any of us make out of real
Yeah.
jobs in a couple of years. Maybe not Bob, because Bob is
Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't very good.
No.
What were you expecting?
Yeah, it's a 7-Eleven margarita. And it's not even frozen. It's supposed to be frozen, which actually changes a lot of the flavors and stuff. That's why cold coffee is good and hot coffee is good, but room temperature coffee is terrible.
It says enjoyed frozen or chilled. Okay, that means over ice.
All right, you can chill it though.
I can't believe they used the word enjoyed. I don't think that's ever enjoyed.
It should be more like tolerated. Would be a good like the sum of all fears are extinguished when you drink this. So tell me where I tell the Walking Dead. I've never seen the show. Do I need to watch the show to play this fucking game?
I've never seen the
No,
comics.
no.
I've never watched the show.
Okay.
So it's
Wait, why? Why is that? What's wrong with y'all? I mean,
I have no.
just don't watch TV.
I have no cable.
Yeah.
I don't watch TV either, bro.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do. You watch The Walking Dead.
Well, I watch the show. I don't watch. I don't watch it on a TV.
Like I watch Game of Thrones once it comes out on DVD. So
Exactly. Except I get the DVDs early every week.
why? How?
Just the files from the DVDs early. Usually a couple hours after the show airs.
Are you talking? Are you talking about downloading the shows?
What? No.
No.
I don't think
No.
so.
No.
The dude told me that. What? What are we talking about?
The Walking Dead
Walking Dead.
game. How is it?
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good.
interesting. I don't know how much. I thought there was a lot of choice there, but apparently it's just the illusion of choice.
Oh, it sounds familiar.
So, yes. So I was curious to play through it again,
Mhm.
just to really see like how much options I have with either choosing. Mainly, you choose who to help. Pretty much is where the big choices are, as well as what
Well,
you tell.
not just that. You often like pick sides in arguments and stuff.
Yeah, you pick
all
the-
that's actually really, really, really well done.
Yeah, it is.
And it's definitely the best part. It's what sets it apart from the other point-and-click adventure games that they've done, and I think it's like those moments are very tense in a very Alpha Protocol type way, where you have to make a choice, but you have a very limited amount
You
of
have a very
time.
limited time, yeah. And inaction is a choice as well. You can choose not to do anything.
Yeah, and I feel like those types of choices are perfect for given the setting.
Yeah, and it definitely felt like impactful given whatever choices you had. And especially with when you finish the first episode, it actually does a summary for the next episode. So it's like next time on Walking Dead, and it gives you this whole spiel about what's going on. They show you different scenes, and pretty much every choice you made in the game impacted those scenes.
Oh, really?
So it makes it seem like the further you go on in the story, the farther you diverge from the kind of story paths. So you can actually have huge branches
Oh,
from
really?
just.
That's-
It makes it seem like
That's-
the unless they weird kind of have it so you can tie it back into like one main storyline.
Mhm.
The fifth episode is just gonna be insane.
Wow. That's more than BioWare can do right now.
Yeah.
So start up from the beginning though. Like, what's the premise? Is it much? Does it follow the show 1-to-1? Is it sort of like is it an offshoot, like offshoot new characters?
It's I looked at the summary for the comic and it's not even near that. I think it's just set up in the same world.
I'm sort of
Wait,
confused because I don't.
I
know
have
anything
the
about
answer.
this. Tell me,
have
King Brad. Tell me.
They are new characters. There's new characters created for this series. It's not related to the television show. It's based on the comics, but the characters are new. But you encounter people from the comics who also happen to be in the show. The thing is, the comics and the show, they're the same story, but like in essence, like they deal with the same characters, but they diverge greatly like towards the beginning. So now they're, even though it starts out as the same story, they're very different stories now because they took a lot of creative license with the television show.
I see.
But it's still based on that universe. You still meet characters from that universe, but yeah, there's new characters in the game.
Okay, so it's based in the same kind of geographical area.
Yeah. I mean, you early on in the first game or the first episode, you go to Herschel's farm, which is a location from the graphic novel, but it's also a location that they spent most of season 2 in on the show. But there's differences. So I mean, a fan of either would probably, enjoy the places you go and the people you meet, if you will,
Right.
even if the characters are original.
So what about
It really does seem like the characters are a big focus of the game, as opposed to the standard kind of zombie game, which is go kill zombies.
Right.
Like that's
Come
not
on, man.
actually.
tell me like
Good zombie apocalypse is human drama.
Yeah.
well that's why like my favorite zombie movie ever is Day of the Dead, which is the one when they're in the underground military complex. It's because it really
Love
focuses.
the zombie.
With Bob the zombie, because it really
Is
focuses.
it Bob or is it Bub?
It's
I can't
Bub.
remember.
Hey, Bub.
Okay.
He's the talking one.
Yeah, he doesn't really talk. He's like,
talk.
"Hello, Alicia." He does that kind of stuff. But it's one where George Romero in an interview talked about how he wanted to do a zombie movie that was actually focused on the characters and how they're actually dealing with in a way, like in that movie, like the other characters are just as, if not more, dangerous than the zombies because they're finding themselves in this sort of closed situation and whatnot. It's really my favorite zombie movie ever. But so, just to go back, because I'm still kind of confused about what The Walking Dead actually is. Like, what is it? Does it have, like, open world elements? Like, can you walk, like, so in Heavy Rain, you
Pretty
can...
linear.
Like, in Heavy Rain, you can kind of walk around the world and do stuff. But is this, like...
You can.
Yes, you can. In Heavy Rain, you can walk around the world and do stuff.
Well, this one you
like,
can walk
what's
around
sense?
areas.
You can walk around areas.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. You walk around areas,
Yeah.
talk to people, pick up things.
So it has that sort of...
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was a completely kind of on-rails experience with different, like, movement options and characters.
Not really. There's free movement. You can.
I
actually
haven't
move.
even seen gameplay video of this shit, so I'm completely in the dark.
I mean, just picture Heavy Rain, but it's, scene to scene, pretty linear in terms of the story and where you go. Yeah, it also has sort of a cartoonish look to it a little bit.
Okay.
It's not hyper realistic characters, but I think that works, given the limitations of Telltale's engine and just, the limitations of human beings in video games. Period.
Yeah.
It ends up looking pretty good. Yet at the same time, like extremely violent in really fucked up ways.
Yeah.
Like in ways they can't even be on the television show.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, just mutilating. I mean, one of the first zombie kills, you just smash a hammer repeatedly into some woman zombie's face, and you see the hammer going in and coming out and going in and getting stuck, and her face just coming apart as you smash it up close.
Wow.
It's fucked up. This is a rated M for mature game.
I
I
did
believe.
not expect that.
Oh yeah, no, very very violent, even though slightly cartoonish.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it seems like they are trying to follow more the comic book feel because it is cel shaded and it's got that kind of really comic booky look.
Cool.
Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about. There is actually, I see some of the characters that came from the comic that are actually in the episodes and the TV shows. So yeah,
How do they handle action?
it's pretty interesting.
Action.
Well, most of it's target and push a button. That's most of the action.
Right.
It's kind of like the action would be. I mean, it's action. Very adventure gamey. Imagine if they tried to do action in a point-and-click adventure game where, say, a zombie was coming at you in Monkey Island. If he gets close, you would click on him. Contextually, you would like click on him to kick him, or click on him to shoot the gun in your hand after you've picked up a gun.
Right.
In a given cinematic moment when the zombie gets close, but you're still moving the cursor around with the right analog stick, but you're still very much hovering over something and clicking on it to act.
Right.
But imagine kind of like the more cinematic fights in Heavy Rain. You know where you're doing QuickTime event actions.
Yeah.
Like in a brawl, but imagine having to actually manually hover a cursor over the dude who's fighting you, and then clicking on it to do your action. Kind of like that.
Okay. That's kind of what you would
Oh,
expect,
no.
I guess.
Oh no! What's
happened?
going on?
What happened to you?
His beard fell off.
You should draw. You should draw another mouth on. That worked. That's how you have to do it. So it's episodic, I guess, which is kind of cool.
Yes.
I mean, they're kind of doing that with the whole Alan Wake thing now, right?
Kind of. Are they trying it out like they tried with Ratchet and Clank?
I always worry about that because it seems like, well, these are going to be episodic releases, but it more sounds like the publisher doesn't want to give them that much money to begin with and wants to kind of see how it does. Like, every one of these is kind of their own pilot, and anytime, like, they start getting less popular, they're just going to get the axe at some point.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
are they making another Alan Wake? Is that in development?
Probably.
I think because they made the American Nightmare. Are they making another episode like that, or are they going to do actually Alan Wake 2?
No, I think if they're doing episodic now, I kind of think they're going to stick with that.
Well, like I said with Ratchet and Clank, they did Quest for Booty was one of their only episodic content, and then they switched back to doing the main series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What I heard rumors that it's exactly that. They're working on a proper Alan Wake sequel also now. This is just sort of a,
Offshoot.
just sort of an offshoot.
Type of thing.
Speaking of which,
just-
this doesn't pertain to anything. I know this new Tomb Raider reboot might be pretty successful, but I would love another isometric Tomb Raider game like the Guardian of Light. That was really cool. Maybe not too successful for him, who knows, but really cool nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Who
like a
developed
Legacy
it?
of Kain game in that engine. It was Crystal Dynamics. It was
Crystal
the same
Dynamics,
team.
yeah, that's right.
Same team, but, you know.
That's kind of weird.
I would love to see a Legacy of Kain game in that engine. It might be kind of cool.
What else have you been playing, Bob?
Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery EP for the release for PC on Steam recently.
I have no idea what that is.
So I've actually been watching this game for a long time since it came out on the iPad. It was originally an iOS game, and you can tell that with the PC controls. Brad, that is freaking me out. I have to switch windows. With the you use the mouse like you would with a touch device. So you kind of click where you want to go, like you would on an iPad. And there's some kind of semi-analogs, like the mouse wheel is for your zoom in and zoom out, that kind of those actions. But it's mostly it's been kind of described like a Zelda-ish game, but it's much more like a point-and-click adventure Zelda. It's kind of weird like that. There's a lot of Zelda references where there is a Triforce, and you have to collect pieces of it.
That's not a reference. That's a direct
Yeah.
take.
But it's it's not serious at all. Like it's very comical. Like in what they say, well, they have like the character and whenever the dialogue is very comical. It's like, and there's this wood chopping guy, and he was sitting there, and it was cool.
Actually voiced by Robert Ashley. Who you
So
might know.
that's the voice they have for that guy. Because I noticed there was a voice talking. I was like, I'll tab down. I was like, what the fuck is this? Because it doesn't really fit in the game.
It's completely random.
Yeah, it's like a kind of 16-bit graphics, really pixely graphics. Looks great, but it really doesn't fit. This full voice in there doesn't fit.
Right.
All of a sudden he starts talking. Yeah, Robert Ashley used to be a pretty popular games journalist at GFW magazine and One Up and all that. And yeah, kind
It
of
was
weird.
really out of place. I just didn't know where that voice was coming from, and I finally figured out it was coming from the game. It took me a good 5 minutes.
So it's a point and click thing.
It's basically a point and click thing. You click where you want to go. You can click and hold, and you'll just kind of walk that direction. A lot of the there is combat, which is all clicking different icons, like they would appear on a iPad screen. Like there would be an icon, you have to click it, like the sword icon or the shield icon to either attack or block. So it definitely feels like a port from there, but that doesn't detract from it looking just fucking awesome, as well as the music is great, and the story is still pretty awesome.
So good.
The music is
So good.
really good. Yeah, it's that's why my toast of the show went to it, is because I just been listening to the soundtrack even when I was at work, and then just kind of playing it. It's nice how where certain areas you go to, or certain people you talk to, or certain events will occur, and you get this music going, and it gets this really kind of nice epic vibe to it.
It's music by a Canadian artist, Jim Gunn,
Yeah.
I believe,
I
who's
can't remember
like
who it is.
just an indie artist, I believe, who decided to do the soundtrack for this game. Kind of interesting. I mean, the soundtrack's really good. I was listening.
Yeah,
to it.
hopefully he does more stuff. Like I notice, usually with these kind of indie titles where the soundtrack really becomes kind of a big feature of the game, the people that develop or kind of produce the soundtrack go on to making soundtracks for other games and sort of build a infamy or fame for having.
They definitely go somewhere a lot of the time.
Yeah, exactly, and that's great.
What's
wonderful that these kind of artists can have that scene, where the indie scene, where they can actually develop and move towards making awesome soundtracks for games.
See, I wish we could have this conversation, or else I would have gotten some music for our breaks coming up.
Oh yeah.
But what's the what's the style of music?
It's really hard to describe. It's pretty. It's not chiptunes.
No, not at all.
That. It's more.
But it's very much, and I think an homage to those chiptunes, even though it's not chiptunes.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It
kinda
sounds
has
like
that
it, but it's
vibe.
not. It's actually full instruments. It's you got piano, you got guitar, you got all these kind of actually like orchestrated music, and it sounds great.
Right.
But it's really hard to pinpoint a style on it.
Okay. That's actually that's actually better.
Yeah.
If it's sort of a amalgamation of like all these different styles together, I kind of dig that. So.
Yeah, it's great. It's really exactly what you would expect if kind of an indie Zelda was made. That's sort of the sound you would expect out of it.
Okay.
It fits very well.
If you buy the game on Steam, I believe you get the soundtrack for free.
Really?
Really?
How much?
Yeah,
how much is it on Steam?
Check your, if you check the folder on your, check the folder in your Steam, in your, check. There's a folder in your Steam folder for the game.
Check.
That should soundtrack.
Check.
Let me see.
Check.
Yeah, I'll check for it. But it's also available, I believe, on. Oh my God, where do people do all those soundtracks? Bandcamp. I think it's available on Bandcamp. You can actually listen to all the music on there, as well as support the artist and buy it on Bandcamp. Which is Bandcamp, I believe is this. Yes,
so it's
it's
an American Pie reference.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes,
No.
it
No
is.
one makes that anymore.
Yes, they do.
Oh yes, the full soundtrack is here. Fucking awesome. So yeah, if you buy it on Steam, you get the full soundtrack, which is amazing. But I believe also it's on. I can check.
How much is this game on Steam?
They were doing a sale for a while, but I'm not too sure what it is currently. I think it was about $7 last time I checked.
Okay.
Let me check the store page. It is $7.99 still.
I can change Brad to black and white from here, so he can't mess with it anymore. How do I do that?
Black and white's cool. It'll be like my Eraserhead camera.
I like the Eraserhead thing.
I just linked the link to the Bandcamp Sword and Sorcery page on.
Oh, good. Where did you
chat. Live on chat.
and where did you put that in on chat?
I put that in chat on 4pp.tv.
Or 4playerpodcast.com.
Yes, if you want to type all that.
If you want to type all that. Or you can just be, 4pp.tv and you're fine. So, awesome. Cool. So, you didn't play how much of that have you played?
I've played probably, I'm getting, I gotta be more than halfway through. I've collected
okay.
2 pieces of the kind of like Triforce type thing.
I mean, how Zelda is it? Do you have like different dungeons? And
No.
Nah, it's more point and click than Zelda.
Yeah.
Is it isometric or 2D side scroller?
2D side scroller, kind of.
Okay.
Neither.
Yeah.
I mean, point
It's much more like it's much more like a Monkey Island than anything else.
Oh,
You're
okay.
clicking a dude
Okay.
around the screen. I mean, look
Yeah.
at the
Okay.
screenshots.
Because the moment you said like Zelda-esque, I immediately thought like, well, isometric, maybe 3D Game Heroes type of thing, and.
No, it's more of a kind of the old.
So you mean
yeah.
thematically Zelda-esque, not visually at all?
Right.
So
Yeah.
a lot of clever homages, I think, to
Yeah.
Zelda.
Right. Speaking of homages, when the fuck is Retro City Rampage coming out?
Soon.
It's supposed to be the end of this year, right? Or the fall, or sometime soon.
I
I think
almost
it's actually this month.
I almost
Oh,
feel
really?
like I'm kind of really excited about that game, but I almost feel like they're kind of overdoing. Oh, the one guy might be overdoing it a little too much. Like
He's been
last-
working on it for how long?
last time I saw the game was 2 years ago, and there was a fucking cover system. It was brilliant. It was fantastic, but it's like, wow, like you're really, really getting into like cramming as much stuff in here as possible. And I almost like worry that it's going to be, there's a point where you can have too much good thing in one place, and it just becomes, overbearing. And I'm wondering if it's sort of becoming over stylized or overproduced at this point. I'm just a little worried about that.
Yeah, he's certainly been working a lot on it. I actually heard him talk back at the PAX Dev last year, and it definitely seems like he's really pouring a lot of his time and just kind of love into this game.
Well,
I'm not too sure how much of it is just like I just want to make as much homages in there as possible and just make all these references and have all these different systems in there, or if it's, I'm actually going to try and make this a good game, make it fluid, make people like it, actually play well.
I also was telling, like, don't like blow your whole load on your first game.
Right.
Like pull back a little bit and, spread your load out between multiple games. But
yeah, the primary aspect of the game should be it's fun. Like, that's what you should be focusing on.
Yeah.
So wait, hold on. Okay. Are we completely done with Sword and Sorcery? Was that a tangent or a transition?
That was a tangent.
Okay. I do want to mention, I want to ask Bob something, because I'm sure he's played a lot more than I have. Is that game always pretty obtuse as far as figuring out what the fuck you're supposed to be doing?
It gets pretty bizarre, but no.
I find that annoying. Like, I was really enjoying it early on because it was pretty clear as to what I was supposed to be doing, and I was just sort of moving along, enjoying the music, enjoying the visuals, enjoying the story. Then all of a sudden, I was completely lost. I didn't know what to do, and I was clicking on animals and making musical sounds by holding the click, and it was weird. And I was like, man, I hope the game isn't like this.
How far did you get?
I mean, not that far at all. I don't.
Did you get the first piece of the Triforce thing?
I don't. I got.
I think at the point. I think I know which point you're stuck
No,
at.
I mean, I'm still chilling at some hut, I think, clicking on animals and shit.
So it's usually it's not that hard to figure out. Whenever you're stuck and you don't know what to click on, eat a mushroom.
What?
Because you pick up mushrooms in the environment.
Life is sort of like that too, I found.
Exactly.
That was actually that's probably how I handle a lot of my problems about 7
If you don't
years
know what's
ago.
going on in your life, just drop some acid. You'll just figure it out.
Yeah. There was the time I dropped 4 hits of acid and got in my convertible and drove to Maryland.
That's amazing. I guess I was going to ask why, but you were on 4 hits of acid, so that makes perfect
That's a
sense.
story for another time.
Jeez. But in the game, you can pick up mushrooms. There's mushrooms in different parts of the game. You can carry most 3. But whenever you're at the point where you need to use there's an ability, it's a Song of Sorcery, I believe, is what it is, where you can actually, you kind of start glowing, and you interact with the environment in a way that allows you to summon some kind of miracle. Or there's these sylvan spirits that are supposed to guide you along the way. If you're stuck at the point where I know I need to do something here, there's a little kind of glowy thing. So what you do is you eat a mushroom, and when you eat the mushroom, the parts on the screen that glow the brightest or start glowing consistently are where you're supposed to click. They're kind of like hints as to what you're supposed to do. As well as for if you're getting different notes, for if you're clicking on different sheep or different objects in the environment, and you're supposed to do it in the right order. Sometimes you're supposed to pair the notes, or you're supposed to kind of follow the music as it's going along. And usually there's some kind of hint that comes up, like there'll be some text that appears. Sometimes, like when you go into the dream world, it says dream, like whenever you're kind of just starting the dream world, as well as certain other environments. If it gives you a hint to as to what you're supposed to do there, it'll actually have a word for that. And that gives you usually enough what you need to know to figure it out. Otherwise, if you're really stuck, you can go into the book. You'll get a book. Actually, the first episode of the game, you're going through and getting this kind of tome of knowledge. I can't remember what it's called. It's got a really obscure name. The Megatome?
Yeah, the book.
The book.
Megatron? The Megatron book?
The Megatron. So you're supposed to, in there, you can actually see what other people are thinking. So you get to choose which character. You look at them, and it's kind of like a Twitter feed. So you can actually go through their previous thoughts and what they thought up to a certain point, and that gives you some hints as to what you're supposed to do. But I've never actually run into a part where I've been really stuck. They've always given me a hint where either if I'm stuck, I just go over, talk to people, look in my book, try to go to areas I haven't been before, and then they usually give you a hint like, oh, this is supposed to happen, or some person talks about some aspect that you're supposed to go to. So it's not that obscure.
I don't like adventure games because I don't like that the game thinks that what I want to do is get unstuck.
I'm me myself. I mean, I've been playing a lot of adventure games, like point and click especially and stuff for Way Back Wednesday, and I'm getting tired of them. It's getting.
Oh man, I love Sanitarium.
I'll tell you what,
that back in the day.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Out of all the ones I've played so far, Sanitarium is probably my favorite.
It's
so far.
crazy. It gets fucking nuts later on. Some of the worlds and environments you go to are just insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been great so far. I mean, I missed it.
Unintended?
What do you mean?
Pun intended? You go to insane areas?
Oh, I missed that one.
Okay.
If you want to take it like that, sure.
If you want to take it that way, so yeah. Let's take our first break. It's 9 o'clock already.
Shit.
So we're gonna take a quick break, and I think when we get back, are we doing our interview with the Catalyst from Mass Effect 3? Yeah.
But before the break, can I briefly talk about Trials? Because I probably beat like six.
We'll come back and we'll talk about more impressions later. But you can talk about Trials real quick now if you want.
Okay, well, I don't have a lot to say about it, except for today I sat down and I decided to tackle some extreme stages, and I probably beat about 5 or 6 of them. And there were some arguments going on in chat because I was none too happy during a couple of the courses where I lost because I hit 500 faults or I hit the 30-minute time limit.
I didn't know there was a time limit on stuff.
A 30-minute time limit, or if you fault 500 times.
Wow, why is that even necessary?
That's my point. That's my point exactly. I was
Seems
getting
kinda
very
weird for a
upset
game like
because
that.
Yeah.
I hate how it's adding difficulty in a very artificial way.
Yeah.
And nothing in front of me in that game, like it could be a vertical fucking wall or like some stupid ass like obstacle that I have to get through. Nothing in the game will actually make me upset. It's only the artificial difficulty that they layer on top of it for no fucking reason. It doesn't make any sense. It just makes it frustrating, and it makes most people not even attempt the extreme levels to the point where you're playing the level and you get to a really tough challenge and all you want a tough ramp or whatever, and you really just want to get through it, but as you get closer and closer to that time limit, that fault limit, you just start stressing out and freaking out because you're gonna have to start the whole thing over, which you already beat the previous challenges and that was very satisfying, but now you have to do it all over again because you ran out of time, and I think it kind of ruins that experience for me, especially because when you're playing like a very hard level, sometimes you just hit it, you just go from checkpoint to checkpoint to checkpoint without falling. You get I wouldn't call it luck, but you just sort of get up and you get the momentum and you get in the rhythm and you just hit it. Like, you hit it so perfectly, and then you get to that hard part, and then you run out of time or you run out of faults, and what happens is it makes that awesome moment you had earlier in that level completely wasted because you're going to have to do the whole level over again. You're probably going to have to go through each of those like obstacles again, but probably not in an exciting not in a nice smooth way like you did in the previous run. You're going to have to like tackle each one individually. And maybe get frustrated at an earlier part of the level that you didn't have problems with the previous run through, and I find that completely frustrating. Imagine if Super Meat. I was trying to make some comparisons to people as to why I think this artificial difficulty is ruining the extreme levels. Imagine in Super Meat Boy if instead of beating one level and then having accomplished that level and moving on to the next one, imagine if every single level in the game was like those negative world levels where you have to beat 3 levels in order to move on. Meaning, if you can beat the first level, the second level, but if you die on the third, you have to go back to the first level. Yeah. Imagine if the entirety of Super Meat Boy is like that.
It's kind of
that would be adding on a layer of artificial difficulty that would ruin the experience, and most people would not even bother playing through that game.
Here's my question, because it's something I was really worried about with Trials, because I suck at Trials. I'm not very good. And when I heard that you actually had to get a certain amount of medals to open up new tracks, I figured, well, does this mean that I'm not gonna see, some of this game because I'll just never get there. But it seems like the other things, like God, what is it called? Not the time trial part, but the other ones where you do like the skiing and stuff. Those medals count as well toward the whole.
Sure, but here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get all your bronze medals for that, or maybe a silver if you're lucky, and you're gonna use those up. And by the time where you're trying to get 135 medals to unlock the extreme levels, you're not gonna be able to rely on those. You're actually going to have to go back and start silver medaling and gold medaling stages. So it's not so bad early on, but you will have to work for it.
I didn't know how lenient it was. I just didn't know how lenient the whole system was.
It's fine. I mean, you can completely enjoy Trials by just playing, the level difficulties up through hard and playing the user-created stuff with never touching the extreme stages. But, I mean, when you get to the extreme stages, you start running into the time problems and the faults problem, and it makes the game not pleasant at all.
Yeah.
Because you know, it's very much about, you know, not just muscle memory, but just sort of getting into that flow and hitting all your jumps. But when you start stressing out about the time, you just start, it's like full tilt. It just goes completely downhill, and you just keep falling and falling and falling and falling, and you just get angrier and angrier and angrier. And
Yeah.
There's 2 levels left in the game that I have to beat.
I feel your pain.
And yeah, it's
That's
I hate red links for not giving you the option to turn that shit off. Maybe just say, okay, we won't upload your scores to the leaderboard, but at least you can try as many times as you like.
Yeah.
It's infuriating.
Some of those levels I saw you playing earlier, just they were all like that you have to do this little like hippity hop stuff over all these like tiny little, you know, barrels and crates and stuff, and I hate that stuff. Like when I play Trials, I want to do jumps and flips and lands and cool stuff like that. I hate like the really slow like hippity hop stuff like back.
Oh well, that's all extreme stages are.
I hate that.
I mean, that's all they are. I mean, I don't think I did a single flip in any of the extreme stages. And that's sad, because I think Red Lynx prefers doing those kinds of levels to, you know, the really creative levels where you're just going fast and knowing what you can do with the tools. There's a surprising lack of creativity in the single player campaign, as far as like, you know, moving parts and you know, the cool stuff that they can do with gravity,
Right.
or like jets of water and stuff like that. I'm just completely surprised how little of that there is. You know, so if you want fun, you know, go look at the user-created stuff and just don't click on any level that says hard or extreme, and you'll probably have a good time.
Right. All right, cool. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we will have our interview with the Catalyst for Mass Effect 3. We'll be right back, guys. You got me now. Everybody, welcome back to 4-Player Podcast Cocktail Time. And now it is time. We have a special interview with the Catalyst for Mass Effect 3. How are you doing, Catalyst for Mass Effect 3?
Hey! How's it going? I'm so happy to be on the show.
We've seen you've been making appearance, Catalyst, on different on the main 4-player, and I wanted to get you on Cocktail Time. And you know, there's all this controversy with the ending of Mass Effect 3. I was wondering, how do you feel about the controversy? Like, it seems like people don't really respect you as as a narrative tool.
I don't know what that's all about. What were they expecting? I mean, I was in Shepard's dreams, and you know, I mean, somebody was gonna have to tell Shepard the business at the end of the game.
But it seems as though people kind of expected their decisions to play out throughout the game, and you just sort of appeared out of nowhere. How come you decided to only how come you only decided to appear at the very end of the last game of the trilogy and didn't make yourself known at any other time in the trilogy?
What do you mean? What are you trying to say? I gave the player the best decisions of all.
But it seems like if things could have, people would have been more accepting of your appearance at the end of the game. If you would have appeared maybe the first game or the second game, or maybe if you appeared in one of Shepard's dreams earlier in the series, sort of made your mark. But instead, you just sort of show up out of nowhere. You're almost like the heel in a wrestling match, you know, to ruin the end, ruin the pin at the very end.
Hey, I made the ending better for everyone.
But what? But how so?
Hey, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is purple.
That's not a choice. Pick another color.
Let's see. How about black?
No, I know you don't like silk. I read your blog. You don't like wax.
Are you racist, Catholic? Are you accusing me of having a problem with African Americans?
No, I love humans and robots, and even humanoid robots. And I give you the choice to love each one of those.
What is your favorite color, Catalyst?
I don't give a shit. Uh-oh.
So, okay. But you still didn't answer my question. How come you only appeared in the last 10 minutes of oh my god, whatever. Catalyst had a problem. How come you only appeared in the last 10 minutes of a trilogy that spanned at least, 130, 150, 160 hours? What are you hiding, Catalyst? What's with all the secrecy?
Listen, it's a twist. Have you ever seen an M. Night Shyamalan movie?
I've seen a few of them. Are you saying you're a product of M. Night Shyamalan?
He's a great storyteller. And guess what? No one saw me coming.
That's true. So, my another question I had for you, Catalyst, is it seems like you're this omnipresent being, right? Why choose the form of a small boy? Is it because why is that?
Because when you're faced with a tough decision, sometimes you need a comforting face to help you decide what to do. I mean, the fate of the galaxy was in the hands of a woman. Or wait.
It really depends on what shepherd you played, then. So you're saying that the face that you have right now is supposed to be a comforting face. This is to make us feel good about our
I usually don't have applesauce all over my face.
I'm sorry I'm sorry for catching you at dinner. It seems like what are you? Do you eat? What are you eating? People for dinner or reavers or what does the Catalyst eat?
Hey, what's that? What's that?
It's the reavers.
Reapers.
Bob, do you have any? Bob, you're a witness. Do you have any questions for the Catalyst?
What the hell are you? That's the only question I have. I haven't to play any Mass Effects.
Have you ever seen The Matrix Reloaded?
Were you in that as well?
Remember the old dude at the end?
Did you play the Architect?
I'm kind of like that, but
Are you saying the Architect is your father?
well, let's just say we have similar features.
Why do babies have to lick their lips so much?
Because of all the applesauce.
Oh man. So one final question. One thing that people talk about the Catalyst and the reason the Catalyst does what he does is he's trying to keep the humans from creating robots that will rise up and destroy them. So in order to do that, the Catalyst created robots to kill the humans before they could create robots that could kill the humans. It seems like you're kind of jumping the gun. It seems like you're just jealous of the other robots and you want your robots to kill the humans. What I'm really saying is, how long have you been part of the Nazi party?
I made a duty.
Well, that is a question. After you destroy the humans, do you poop out? Do you shit out new worlds? Is that how the worlds become like the Reapers or the synthetics destroy the human race, feed them to you, and then you shit out new worlds? You renew the universe through your colon.
I don't appreciate your line of questioning.
This is a very serious matter. You must understand that us having you on this show, this wasn't going to be an easy interview.
Man, I don't give a shit. Just pick a color. Pick a color. I like green.
All right, I'm gonna pick red.
No. What is your galactic readiness at?
The entire not the multiplayer bullshit, right? Did you have anything to do with that multiplayer?
You gotta play multiplayer. You want to pick the red ending?
I have to play the multiplayer to pick the red ending.
Uh-huh.
How much of you was created by EA? That's what I want to know. How much of you was created by EA? I feel I almost feel like EA dropped you off in a basket on BioWare's doorstep. Is that what happened?
I have John Riccatello's nose and his eyes.
I don't know. I feel like I said you were dropped off by EA on BioWare's doorstep, and they had to deal with you, and they had to put you somewhere. They had to put you up, take care of you, nuzzle you from their bosom, and they found a place for you in the last 10 minutes of Mass Effect 3.
Mm-hmm. Hey Bob, pick a color.
Okay, what does mauve get me?
Mauve?
Mauve.
No. Pick green, blue, or red.
That's all you get, Bob.
That's all I get? Green, blue, or red? Okay, how about blue?
That's stupid. That's the one that the elusive man wanted the whole time. Why would you pick that one?
Why would you offer that as a choice?
Because you gotta pick one of the colors.
Where did the color? Who created the colors? It seems like you're a messenger boy for the colors. I think the colors come from somewhere else. Are they from the show In Living Color? Is that where this is coming from?
No.
Are you one of the Fly Girls?
The what?
The Fly Girls.
11 color.
You're
My
not.
eyes are messed up.
All right. Is there? We're not getting anywhere with you, Catalyst. You're all you want us to do is pick colors, and that's it.
I love colors.
What are your favorite colors?
Blue, red, green.
All of it. You don't have a favorite of all of those. Just blue, red, and green. That's very limited.
Who gives a shit?
Well, that's very limited, Catalyst. There's a lot of colors. There's more colors in the color wheel, and you're limiting to 3 choices of colors.
Spend 1,200 Microsoft points to get more colors.
So you're saying if I spend 1,200 Microsoft Moon Banana dollars, I can get more colors?
Uh-huh.
There's more colors in your bib. How come I can have one of those colors?
We don't talk about those colors. Blue, green, or red, please.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I like blue, like Liara. That's all. This interview's over.
I will still contend that baby shouldn't lick their lips. Well, thank you, Catalyst. See you later.
Don't make me get the Reapers on you.
All right, let's get Brad back.
It is I, the Reapers.
It's the Reapers. Damn it, it's the Reapers. That doesn't look very Reaperish. All right.
The fuck is a Reaper anyways?
I don't know. It reaps. It reaps what you sow. Is what happens.
Let me go get Brad.
All right. Well, that was good.
Hello?
Hey, Brad.
Sorry, Catalyst left.
That's okay. It was time for the Catalyst to go. All right, let's get reset up. So, Brad, we have to do your impressions.
I talked about Trials. What else is there? I don't know.
What else have you been playing?
What else? What came out?
Prototype 2, which is something I'm going to talk about a little bit.
Wait, I haven't played any Prototype 2.
Yeah, I don't think I remember seeing it on the feed at all.
Yeah.
Walking Dead, Lone Survivor, Trials.
And I've also played... I don't know. I played a little Silent Scope Assassin. What is a game called?
Sniper
Sniper
Elite.
Elite.
Oh, I will be playing some of that on
Did
Tuesday.
you shoot any balls? Because that's what everyone's really excited about.
No, in fact, I mean, it kept crashing on my computer. I don't know
yeah.
why.
Well,
so.
I guess you were trying to do Windows mode and it wasn't.
Yeah,
So good.
Rebellion game plus Windows mode plus XSplit equals not fun.
Yeah. So you've
What
been
else
playing,
came out? I had to have played something.
yeah, you've been playing more than just Trials. I played
Yeah,
Lone.
Witcher 2.
Well,
Did you get more of that? No.
What about Lone Survivor?
No, I just played a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm. What is Lone Survivor anyway?
Why I mentioned it? It's a side-scrolling, very pixel art-y, survival horror game,
Right.
and very much in the vein of like a Silent Hill, with some clever homages to Silent Hill as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even the sound effects sound very Silent Hill-y.
Oh, interesting.
In fact, it's probably the most Silent Hill game since Silent Hill 3.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool. I need to play more of it. I just played a little bit of it.
Right.
But there's, it's full-blown Silent Hill. There's even combat.
That's
Like
fucking
you get
awesome.
guns and stuff.
That's very
So-
cool. That's very good. And it's really like totally 8-bit. It reminds me of almost like a horror like Metal Slug in its look.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, and surprisingly well made and deep in ways I never expected.
Yeah.
Well, the same developer did a bunch of Silent Hill D-makes, the 8-bit era.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think he did mostly kind of Flash games.
Mhm.
Which I believe actually Lone Survivor, the demo was in a Flash game.
Oh, interesting. Okay. People in chat is they're asking about the Dragon's Dogma demo. We all played it, but really it's the same demo we played at E3.
It's not the same one I played at PAX East.
It's kind of ridiculous. Maybe we can talk about this a little bit. It's the fact that like it's kind of a fuck up to put that old demo out and to try to like
Yeah.
sell your game. Like,
That's not good at all, actually.
yeah, I mean, there's so much more to this game than that demo shows. It's really it's code that's at least a year and a half old. Like it has to be at least a year and a half old, like minimum. They left all the fucking pawns. Like anyone who played the demo and are like pissed off because the pawns wouldn't shut up, you can change that in the newer code. It's just that old code they just talk incessantly. It's very annoying. But
We talked a lot in the PAX East one as well.
you can adjust that though. I
As an
think.
option?
Yeah,
You can turn off like every little bit of the HUD entirely,
Mhm.
actually, and it looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, same old demo. I don't think it conveys what that game is at all.
No, it
I think Capcom just sort of, I mean, this game was going to be successful if it got really good word of mouth, but I think they just cut off a large potential of a large amount of people who potentially trying it out, based on like a really good demo because the demo sucked.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's-
I'll do my part. I'll broadcast a bunch of it, and if it's good, I'll sing its praises. But
We'll do what we can. Well, we're definitely be broadcasting it on launch day, if not a little earlier, depending on if people like get back to emails and stuff like that.
yeah.
But it's I mean, I was really disappointed to see that that's what they released because I was expecting, Bob, you said that the email was much the demo was there was a lot more to it at the pack in PAX East. And like,
Yeah, the PAX East one, I got lost in a forest.
yeah, even when I started playing the demo, like I guess is the first one. I guess I started with the second mission, which is when you face the Griffin, and I ran away from the Griffins. I was like, fuck this! I'm just gonna start trying to explore and see how far I can go. And they limit you to a very small area. It's like there's like this invisible wall. You can't get like too far away.
Weird.
That's not the main game. That's just for the demo.
No, yeah, exactly. But the fact is, like, I couldn't even really explore it all. Like that game, they would have been much better off just opening up a huge area and just making it a time demo for like 40 minutes or something like that.
Anything.
I found another beer.
What's it called? Did a pretty good job. I think Kingdoms of Amalur had a pretty good demo, where it started off with a pretty linear section, but then it opened it up for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, that's exactly how you need to do that kind of thing. That was done really well. What kind of beer, Bob, by the way?
This is we got a big ass pack of the Kona Brewing Company beer. So this one is a golden ale. They do a variety. The other one I had was a pale rock. It's called Fire Rock. It's a pale ale. But they do they'll do a coconut brown ale, as well as they'll do like a Lilikoi wheat Wheat ale. Wheat
No,
ale?
wheat. You said wheat well.
Yeah, I totally did.
Wheat whale sounds interesting.
It's mostly like kind of a tropical
Okay.
beer.
A tropical beer.
Yeah.
That sounds
It's really good.
horrible.
They blend the flavors that make sense with the style of beer. I found your beer. I was gonna drink it.
Are you
Ooh,
getting
food.
nachos again?
Oh, I'm getting nachos again.
Jesus Christ. Look at this.
Yes.
Bob gets nachos delivered to him during the goddamn...
You know what it is?
I had nachos yesterday.
There's the can. It's corned beef, cabbage, and potatoes.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was just taking a while for
I have
dinner
fucking
to cook,
sweet tarts, that's it.
so. Well,
That's my dinner for
I'm gonna
tonight.
eat with my fork and knife. So
Jeez. It's become a dinner time already, like all of a sudden.
exactly. Let me just eat really loudly, and then I'll be officially at dinner time.
But you have to put a note at the bottom that says you're working on your noisy eating habits.
Exactly.
And every time put it in. Oh man. So, like I said, I played some Prototype 2, and I've never...
Quick question.
Mhm.
Whatever happened to Risen 2?
That came out
Yeah,
Friday?
but
It came out for
Did
the
you-
PC.
Did you
PC
try
on
it?
Friday.
Joseph, do you have a copy of that
I
game?
do not have a copy of that game. I have old code of that game, like old
No.
code of that game, that I've
Old
tried.
code?
Yeah.
Why didn't they send you a review code or something?
I'm working on that.
Oh, I see. I heard bad things.
I've heard mediocre things.
Yeah, I've heard 7s or 8s.
Yeah. One of my main
Depending on who you talk to.
one of my main issues that was sort of in the alpha or the code that I got was the fact that there was no really like in what I played there was no like sea sailing at all, but ports
Weird.
are like fast travel hubs.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
no, that's true.
There wasn't really any like being on the ship and going through the sea like Wind Waker pirate sort of stuff. It was like you go to the dock and like you could just like fast travel to other places from there.
No, when I first saw that demo behind closed doors last year, that was the first thing I asked them if there was sea travel.
Mhm.
And they were like, nope.
How could you make a pirate game without sea travel?
Have you ever
Yeah.
played the game Sea Dogs?
That's like making a bird game without flight. I don't know, but Brad is thrown his headphones
He's done.
off in
Fuck it.
disgust and walked away. And he's like, "Screw you! I'm done with this."
So Sea Dogs is God, who made Sea Dogs? I can't remember anymore, but it's a game that came out I can't even remember how long ago it was. It was basically a game where you were a pirate.
Right.
And you you could either be a pirate or you could choose to ferry goods from one place to another and trade. But it pretty much had sailing. You could actually equip your ship with different kind of cannon shots. So you could use standard cannonballs, grape shot, chains
Was
to
it the
take
old-
out different sails.
Wait, what's the name of the game?
Sea Dogs.
For what?
PC, I believe, where it came out on. I don't know if it came out on anything else.
That sounds really familiar, like with the chains and stuff.
But yeah, it was
Like
really
you
fun.
use the cannonballs with the chains to take out masts.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I remember that.
God, what game was this?
You said it was Sea Dogs.
Yeah, Sea Dogs. I'm trying to remember who developed it. Oh, here we go. Sea Dogs. Bethesda actually did it. Oh, that's what I was gonna guess.
Really? Oh wait, Brad has a
Yeah.
new other drink. Strawberry black
Daiquiri?
iguana.
Another igloo.
How much alcohol do those have?
Probably not a lot.
Yeah, mine were all 5%, so it wasn't that bad.
For a margarita, that's like nothing.
5%'s really nothing.
5.5.
Yeah.
Nice. So, Prototype 2. You guys play any of that yet?
No, why would I play that?
Well, exactly.
I never beat the first one. I have
Exactly.
the first one, but I never beat it.
I don't think I've ever played a game that can be both as boisterous in terms of you being like this crazy superhero or superpowered guy with all these like crazy abilities, and be as boring and bland at the same time as this game is. It's just so dull. It's so dull.
Did you play the first one? Because it kind of reminds me a lot of the first one.
Yeah, it's very much like the first one. I played a lot of the first one.
Oh, you know what? The first one is very much like Hulk Ultimate Destruction, so
Oh, yeah.
good
Yeah.
job, Radical. Try making a new game for once.
Yeah. No, it's just ridiculous. It's you have it's like I don't know what it is. I think part of it is like the city is like it's completely lifeless. For as much life as it seems the city is supposed to have, the city itself seems so stark. It's like there's this weird, I wouldn't say uncanny valley thing because GTA 4 more has that uncanny valley thing, but at least the city seems alive. The city in Prototype 2 just seems like a still life photo almost, even though there's people around. It's very strange. It's complete like background filler. That never feels like anything you really do in that game is having a lasting effect on the place you're in. You know, especially since you kind of do something and then you run away and you lose like line of sight with your enemies, and then you go right back to the area and everyone's like, do, nothing's wrong. You know what I mean? It has that old quality to it, but it's so banal. The whole thing. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't played a lot of it, but it's hard for me to go back to it. It's just very dull.
Yeah, I found the same problem with the first game. I have it on PS3, and I played probably a good 4 or 6 hours of it, but after a while I just didn't care anymore. There really was nothing... There was nothing there to hook me in and keep me in. The story was not really that compelling. The characters I didn't give a shit about. Yeah. And even the second one seems a little more weaker than the first one with the story and whatnot. Like, I found
definitely.
found myself having a hard time caring about anything in that game.
Oh, they especially since it seems I mean, at least the first story had this sort of simplicity to it that was kind of easy to latch onto to a degree. A lot of times narratives are the best when they're kind of simple, you know, and then when they become sort of, and then you can start them off simple and then slowly add on and eventually, you know, it's almost like a narrative is almost like working out. You start light, and before you know it, a year later, you're carrying around a lot more heavy weight, but it seems as light as it was at the beginning because you worked up to it. And the first Prototype had that. You know, it started off as a very, you know, easy into the narrative, and they start adding more and adding more and adding more, and it became, you know, boring eventually. But at least it had a lot more of a tail to it. In Prototype 2, they just immediately throw like a 50-pound weight upon you. And it's like, God, there's all these, like, you know, characters, and, like, this guy is like, my revenge for my dead family, you know? And it's like, then he meets the Prototype guy, and he's angry. Oh, hold on.
Really, though? Like, who plays Prototype for the story?
But
You're supposed to feel like a badass.
I know, but if you don't give a shit why you're a badass or why you're doing stuff, it doesn't matter at all, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, there's plenty of games I've played where I've just wanted to, like I think power progression is a really satisfying thing in a game where you start out feeling kind of like a weak, lame dude, but by the end of it, you feel like a god. Think Metroid or like Castlevania, like or Shadow Complex or something. Those games do it really well.
Yeah, Shadow Complex especially.
Or think about Crackdown, where you start out and you're like a little soldier, but by the end you're jumping from building to building. I mean, that's the kind of thing I go to Prototype for. Problem with the first game is, you know, you keep running into frustrating enemies. It has the same problem that Infamous does, where you have all these powers, but you're still like feel like you're made of paper.
Oh, yeah. You never feel powerful.
Yeah, it needs to be more like. Yeah. Like, these superhero games like Infamous and Prototype need to be more like the Volition games like Saints Row 3, where it's very hard for you to die, so you can just run around and be a complete badass. Or even like Red Faction Guerrilla, I think, was very similar as well. You just feel like a god as you're running around throwing charges, hammering dudes. At least if you play on casual, which I do, of course.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but I got it from GameFly. I almost can't even see myself playing anymore of it. And just sending it back for like Sniper Elite or something like that.
Hey,
yeah.
This is so. Is Sniper Elite supposed to be good? I kept thinking it was a sequel to Sniper Ghost Warrior from like a couple of years ago. This is actually like the sequel to Sniper Elite from last generation, developed by Rebellion, which is has a pretty strong cult following from what I understand.
I don't know if it's a sequel or if it's a remake. I think it's supposed to be a remake. Yeah.
I don't think so. Was the first? Is it really, or just a straight up remake, like a?
That's what I thought. I don't know if
or is it like complete. Like what type of remake are we talking?
It might be a re-envisioning.
Okay, yeah, like a re-envisioning. That'd be a lot different. But I know Mike's been playing it, I think he's been playing on the hardest difficulty, and he just likes the way like Splinter Cell, but like super realistic. And Splinter Cell mechanics, the way you move around and stuff, but very realistic in terms of the damage you deal and take. And he likes really hardcore things like Dark Souls and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
it's a remake, but it takes place in the same time frame and location.
but I mean,
like now the
there's
different main character.
but there's different types of remakes. So there's
Yeah, it's I think it's not a sequel, but it's a takes place at the same time, different character.
huh.
Yeah,
Wait, Sniper Elite.
Sniper Elite V2.
So why did V1 suck? Like, why remake it?
No, it
It
didn't.
didn't suck. No, a lot of people like the game.
Like I said, it has a pretty strong cult following.
So they just want to make a sort of a next generation iteration of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
I'll be trying it out Tuesday. Hopefully it's good.
That seems like a strange thing for Rebellion to be doing.
Better that they remake something that they're good at instead of churning out shit like they've been doing.
No, it's true.
I mean, Rebellion's last game
You don't want another Rogue Warrior?
this year. Bob played
Ugh.
Rebellion's last game.
Which one was that?
Which one was that? I don't even remember.
Never Dead.
They did that?
That
shit?
was a Rebellion.
Yes.
That was Rebellion?
Yeah, it was Rebellion co-developed with a
Oh.
they pretty much made the game, but it was the whole Lords of Shadows thing where they slapped a Japanese developer name on it too.
That's disgusting.
How did you feel about Never Dead, Bob? Bob finished that on the feed, didn't you?
It was bad. Oh, I don't know. It
Oh,
had
before
it was
that-
a lot of good ideas, really bad execution.
Before that, they did AVP.
The new one.
Yeah, the newer one.
Yeah.
Well, no, they did the original too.
They did
Like,
the
back-
original.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rebellion used to be a very competent developer, but the people that work at Rebellion now they're not really the Rebellion of the past.
Yeah, yeah.
Also Rebellion, I think either before or after AVP, responsible for oh god, what was it? Something else terrible. Yeah, terrible.
We're talking about Rogue Warrior, right?
Rogue
Warrior was Rebellion. I played that game. I know. I finished that game.
No, that can't be right.
No, it is. Rogue Warrior was Rebellion.
But oh, that's right. Actually, Rogue Warrior, while it was developed by Rebellion, it was developed from a studio within Rebellion that was actually formerly a Core, which was the creators of the Tomb Raider series, which was insanely revolutionary. But they later got purchased by Rebellion, I believe, and that was actually the studio within Rebellion that made Rogue Warrior.
Oh, I see.
I believe that's right.
That's shameful.
Yeah, no, really, really shameful.
Awful.
But you know what? Rebellion's they might do good by remaking what they know. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
So, Brad, you played nothing else? That was it? I found that hard to believe.
You play some more Grimrock?
You did. You did over the weekend, actually.
It's hard to say. I mean, I've been playing that, not lately, but I mean, I've definitely been playing more. That's a really great game.
Yeah.
It's super addictive. If it was just a combat crawl, kind of like like Etrian Odyssey, which is another modern game, but an homage to old school dungeon crawlers, I probably wouldn't like it as much. But because it has these well-crafted puzzles and some pretty clever secrets,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been enjoying just the dungeon design so much more.
Yeah, the dungeon is really, really well designed. Like the secrets, the secrets are really hard to get. Some of the really, really good ones, but they're not impossible. There usually is some information in there that you can use to find it.
Correct.
So it's designed well in that way, where you can actually feel like you can get the secrets and find them on your own instead of having to look it up online.
Yeah.
Hey, Brad, have you played much of The Witcher 2?
Well, I mean, I played over 30 hours of it.
So you
but
played a lot
not recently necessarily, because I've been playing the PC version.
of Witcher 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter
But
what version you're playing.
No. I played about 30 hours of it, but I stopped playing it so I can read the books and play the first game.
Oh yeah, okay. I saw you playing some of the first game.
I'm in the middle of the second book right now, and I've said it before on the other podcast, but if anybody who's moved on to The Witcher 2 is maybe a little confused about the character and the world and doesn't necessarily want to go back and play an old PC game, that, with combat that's kind of shit, I recommend just reading the first Witcher book that's been localized to English, because it's actually really good and a great intro. It's a well written, quick read, and a great introduction to the series and that character.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The Last Wish, I believe.
Okay. I'm gonna write that down.
And you can. I mean, it's like 400 pages, and it goes pretty quick.
Okay. Cool. All right. So, how about this? How about we take one more break and then we'll come back and we'll do some news? Because I got 4 news items here we can talk about at least.
Sweet.
So, all right.
Awesome.
We'll be back. We'll be right back, guys. Where's the button? There it is. Alright guys, welcome back to Cocktail Time! Final segments.
I guess we're back. But
We're
are we live?
We're live!
Yep.
Of course we're live.
Oh.
We never stop being live. We have
Damn it.
breaks, but we never stop
I was
being
about
live.
to ask Bob what he thought about the vagina monster.
Brad,
The vagina shade.
he doesn't care. Bob doesn't care about your shit.
Oh, I guess he's not been watching the show.
What are you talking about? Vagina monsters?
Not the recent show. No.
Oh, Melisandre's vagina shade.
What?
Who?
What? What? I'm gonna have to watch a recent episode.
Melisandre's vagina shade, vagina monster.
I have to show people something.
They showed it at the end of last week's episode, and
Oh, I think I know what part of the story you're talking about, but yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that now. See if I can
made-
find it.
I was like, because the budget on this show is so shitty.
I don't care.
I just shot a potato across the room.
Oh my god,
I
the
have
budget
organic pizza bites, but fuck you.
Obviously, like with a story like that, a budget could get out of control. So all the battle scenes, they haven't shown any of them. In fact, the last episode, they just sort of faded to black during like a battle sequence.
What are you talking about?
The Game of Thrones television.
Don't fucking spoil it! I haven't seen chapter fucking 2 yet.
Oh. Okay. Well, let's just say last episode they showed a vagina shade, and I didn't think they were actually going to show it because, the limited budget.
What's
But
what's
they showed it,
vagi-
and it was cool looking, and they pulled it off, and it was more fucked up than I
That's
thought it
creepy.
would ever be.
Are you talking about a vagina?
Yeah.
A vagina shade. A shade is like a mythical,
Yes.
like a magical creature, if you would.
Why would you call it a vagina shade?
A vagina shade?
Wait,
That's-
it,
that's for you to
it sounds
find
like
out.
it sounds like you just said they just showed a vagina and it was more disgusting and mythical than I ever could have imagined it would be.
More of a mythical creature crawling out of a vagina on television.
Oh.
Yeah, and it looking pretty impressive. And I'm not talking about the vagina, but the...
Oh, you're fucking talking about the woman with the dragon. Stop it.
No, I'm not.
No,
Oh, you're not, okay.
yeah,
I thought
we're
maybe-
not spoils.
Okay. No
Yeah.
spoilers.
No, okay.
No spoilers until I can see season 2 in a year when it comes out on DVD.
Oh my god, you're really going to wait that long? For fuck's sake.
I have to.
Just watch it on your Xbox via HBO Go. All you have to do is have HBO first. That makes sense.
Well, it kind of
Get a
does.
cable subscription. That makes a lot of fucking sense when you don't want to watch it.
It does if you read about why they have to do that. It does make sense.
No!
I think Brad's fro just got a little bigger when he got angry. It
Listen.
poofed out. It poofed out.
To watch HBO on your Xbox, you have to have HBO.
I know.
Why does
What-
it make sense?
It makes sense because of how they have to sell their content.
Like, does it make sense is why would somebody want to watch HBO through their Xbox when they have HBO?
Because they can watch it through their iPad when they're on a business trip.
No. I
Anything else?
understand HBO Go on other devices.
Mm-hmm.
But HBO Go, I mean, an Xbox has to be plugged into a television with HBO.
I know what you mean.
Do you think they would make a lot more money if they just sold the episodes online? Then that way they wouldn't have to sell their subscription service. That
I'd pay
not
like
everyone wants
I'd
to
pay at
for.
least $5 an episode just to watch it that night.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people would.
Yeah, me too, absolutely. But they're trying to sell their service because
That's how
where
they make their
all the
money.
You know?
But they only make their money that way because that's the only way they're willing to do it.
That's true. They can make more money from people who like us.
It's
No,
a big
but-
risk. They're not willing to take
But
it.
here's what HBO does. It puts out a show like Game of Thrones, and there's people out there who only want to watch that show who will pay for a full HBO subscription year by year
Right.
just to watch that show.
Right.
And then make way more money than just selling it, you know, piece by piece, because then people would pay their $50 to watch each episode of the show instead of the yearly HBO fee, which is probably exorbitant.
But how many people are not willing to pay that damn fee and download it? Pirate it. And if they actually offered the alternative service, they would be
Uh-huh.
willing to pay for it.
I think the RIAA has been pretty successful, and people are afraid to pirate shows. I think like television.
Over the past couple of years, yeah.
Over the past couple of years, I think there's definitely been a decrease probably, and you have schmoes like Joseph here who are waiting for the DVD. I mean that.
I'm part of the
they've been
problem.
affected. Yeah,
Me.
or something like that. What are we talking about? Video games?
We were
News? What?
New?
we got some news. All right. Hold on. Hold on here. I have my piece of paper. It's a Skyrim DLC. I want to ask you, Brad. So, you know, the latest update, they found a bunch of Skyrim DLC assets in one of the folders. Snow elves and things like that, and crossbows, which are actually really cool. But beyond that, my question was how much... I was actually kind of interested, beyond DLC, how much playability does Skyrim still have for you, just in general?
What do you mean?
I mean,
Playability.
can you still go back to it? I mean, have you finished it?
Oh, I haven't finished it. I just sort of put it down for other things.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I probably played like 50, 60 hours of the game, maybe.
Okay.
And I just sort of got to a stopping point. But not like forever. It's the kind of thing I can go back to. I mean, Oblivion, I played much later than, you know, probably 2-3 years after it came out before I finally, you know, finished that game.
Right.
Well,
I don't know,
usually the DLC expansions and whatnot add a lot of content, or usually new areas or whatnot to go to.
Well, I've heard rumors of like Morrowind, like them adding in Morrowind as an expansion.
That's only because you can see it on the map.
You know, but the only reason you can see it on the map is because you can go really high, so they put those things in. But I mean, like, so you would go to the gate that leads to Morrowind, and then Morrowind would load. It wouldn't just be, they wouldn't be adding in Morrowind right there. They wouldn't be like adding houses to the land that's already there. Basically, that, you know, you would go to the gate and, you know, entering Morrowind.
Well, I feel like they'd rather well, maybe with a gate, but they would much rather teleport you to somewhere or have you take a boat.
Mhm.
That kind of thing.
But there was a gate to Morrowind already.
I never saw that.
Mhm.
Therefore, it doesn't exist. If I don't personally see it, it does not exist. What happened?
I forgot to close my door.
Oh.
I'm in my pizza rolls. Okay, so Stalker 2 is dead.
Stalker 2? Yeah.
Stalker 2 is dead. The game company that was making Stalker 2 is no more. But they became something called Vostok Games. And they're making an MMO, like an MMO FPS. Using ideas of Stalker 2 that they were going to do. It almost seems like they're making a Stalker 2 MMO FPS right now.
Oh, hey guys, guess what? Who gives a shit? Fucking MMOs. Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, it's the...
I think that sounds really cool, though.
Hey, you know what sounds really cool? Stalker 2.
Yeah, but you're not getting that anymore, so... What the fuck?
You know what was really good? Stalker. You know what
Why
was
make
also
an
really
MMO?
good?
Mhm.
The Witcher. You know what was also like amazing after they got a second go of it?
Mhm.
The Witcher 2.
Mhm.
You know what might have been amazing if they had a second go with Stalker? Stalker 2.
Yeah, but I mean that dream is dead, Brad. You have to move on.
But still,
I'm just saying
why
it's
don't you
a
make a
big
single
fucking
player
bummer.
game?
Let's stop trying to find the silver lining and all agree that this is bullshit. How
It's
could
pretty
the-
weird
how
that they're
could
going for an MMO.
Stalker was insanely successful, right? I mean, over like in the long term,
But
how
they-
could they not
They
funding to do another Stalker game?
because
I mean, that
they should have tried a Kickstarter. Hmm.
absolutely. I mean, you joke, but that would have been probably really successful.
Well, I read they couldn't secure the IP. So who owned the IP?
Yeah, someone else owned the IP, and the IP was ridiculously expensive.
Because
But
the fucking Al Lowe, who agreed to, who started a Kickstarter to remake Leisure Suit Larry, like when he started that Kickstarter, I don't think he had the IP. He was raising money to get the IP.
Right.
It couldn't. I don't understand, like, how the game company that made Stalker could not have secured the rights to make Stalker.
Well, who owns the rights for Stalker?
But the probably the people who wrote the books or something.
so they're based on.
I think they're based off books. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no, they are. They definitely are based on books. So you're saying they secured the IP for one game, couldn't afford it for the next.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. We're speaking about a subject we probably don't know much about, but
There's shenanigans.
it seems strange
Mm.
That and MMOs are insanely expensive.
and stupid.
Yeah, they're not always successful. There takes a lot of money to develop one. Takes a lot of money to test it, and you got to figure out some way to make that money back. And not many do.
Hey, guess what? Free to play.
Still, even then, it takes a while. Do you know how many free-to-play MMOs there are out there?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah. It's almost like a Kickstarter. Like the first two were successful, and now everyone is trying to do it.
Yeah.
So, hey, Brett, you said something a couple of weeks ago. Well, more than a couple of weeks ago, talking about KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic MMO, and how they were losing subscribers.
Yeah.
Where did,
Hemorrhaging.
where did you get that information? Because I couldn't find it anywhere after you said it. I'm not calling you out. I'm interested to find out who said that.
I don't think this was from any official sources. I think it was just from players.
Okay.
I've heard various anecdotal evidence from people who play the game
Like what?
saying that lots of people are leaving.
Oh, why were they leaving?
It's because
Pandas.
it's a fucking MMO, and if it's not WoW, people don't stick around.
Well, even WoW people are not sticking around. WoW people aren't sticking around anymore.
Yeah, WoW's been losing a lot of subscribers.
Yeah, but they are in a position. It's been 8 fucking years. How many years has it been since WoW came out? 8 some odd years. Of course, I mean it's okay for them to start losing players, especially on the eve of Diablo 3. But a MMO that launched at the beginning of the year or the end of last year, losing players is not good. I mean, I think don't be surprised if you hear that by the end of the year, or maybe early next year, that the Old Republic is free to play, goes free to play.
So here's my question: Has MMO sort of like
The reason
have they crested in a sense? Do you think?
No, I mean MMOs are still insanely successful, especially in the East. They're just not pay to play necessarily, with the exception of WoW.
Right.
Yeah, most of them are free to play.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's still plenty coming out.
Well,
I don't know how well Terra's going to do. Terra's the new one that's coming out. That's not free to play.
Terra.
It will be.
Terra.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Hawken.
It probably-
Hawken is coming out as free to play.
That's not an MMO.
Is Hawken ever coming out?
No, you're thinking of Huxley.
I'm thinking of Huxley.
You're always thinking of Huxley.
Damn it.
You're
I'm
like
always thinking of
you're
Huxley.
like in the bathroom taking a big shit, and you're like, man, Huxley.
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 I remember
Okay.
reading about Huxley like 1997.
It was a long time ago.
No, not 97. I'm sorry. Probably
97.
99, 2000. 2000.
Yeah, it was around 2000.
2000. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of where I was in 2000. I was in.
Oh, Hawken is the. Did they It's the mech game. Is that an MMO now?
It's a free-to-play MMO FPS or a free-to-play multiplayer thing.
Hawken is not an MMO.
Well,
I didn't think it
it's
was
not
an
an
MMO.
MMO, but it's a free-to-play online thing.
Then why are you fucking talking about it? We're talking about MMOs.
I'm just throwing that in there. What the fuck? Star Wars Galaxies. That was a great game. I'm like an old man. Star Wars Galaxies. Now, that was a great game when we were younger. That was,
Well, they did
that
recently
wasn't
make EverQuest 1, the original EverQuest free-to-play, right?
EverQuest 2 actually is free to play.
Well, no, I think EverQuest 1 and 2 are now free-to-play.
EverQuest 1 for a while. I used to play EverQuest 2 for a long time. I was a Dark Elf Death Knight.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That was
Powerful
a fun
class.
game. That was a
Used to
fun
play
game.
that.
What else do we have in the news?
So the news is Microsoft is revealing a new music service called Woodstock that's going to replay Zune on the Xbox. Personally, I don't give a shit. If it means I have to open up a different app to play music or play movies, it's still bullshit. I should be able to play that shit from the dashboard and not have to open up another fucking app. Like, it's like, I want to play a video I downloaded. Oh, I want to play it. Yeah, I'll play it through Zune or where the fuck the service is. And it has to, like, I have to wait 10 minutes for it to upload another app to the fucking thing. It's bullshit. Like, see, Brad's got it right. Brad's got Microsoft cock in his mouth, and he's like, he's got to wipe off the cum from his lips. That's what he's doing right now. People,
Do we have any real news topics?
Shinji Mikami's Project Zui,
Zwei.
being put out by Bethesda and ZeniMax. Possibly.
And developed by his studio, which is now owned by ZeniMax. So.
Right. Which makes
Yeah,
me a little worried because ZeniMax has been. You're making that face. You're making that Brad face.
Well, it's a Shinji Mikami survival horror game.
Yeah. Yeah, and ZeniMax has
You
been.
might know him as the creator of Resident Evil.
I know.
And the director of Resident Evil 4.
Oh no, and he also had a thing something to do with that other game I really liked.
Shadows of the Dam.
Shadows of the Dam that I really liked. And
He's
no one
pretty
fucking
good at
bought.
this- He's pretty good at that survival horror stuff.
My fear is that ZeniMax has been clamping down on developers like for a while this year. So I mean, how is that going to affect their other projects? How's that going to affect Prey 2?
I mean, probably not reluctant.
Huh? Money is a finite thing, my friend. And we already established at the last cocktail time that Governor Scott Walker destroyed Prey 2 as we know it. So
I don't know.
we're pretty deep in the weeds here, Brad. You might not be used to this, like, you know, this sort of like environment. Where we really get down and dirty with the logistics.
Here's the
of
thing.
news.
Here's the thing. Bethesda decided to delay Prey because they didn't think it looked good enough, right? Well, over the previous
We
couple
don't
of
know
years,
why exactly.
the previous couple of years, they published games like Brink and Hunted the Demon's Forge and Rogue Warrior. So, maybe they're trying to take a step back and say, hey, maybe we should stop publishing shit and make sure these games are actually good before we, throw a bunch of money at them. So
That's a bunch of crap, and you know it.
Maybe this is a good thing.
No, actually, I do
Maybe they
think
just
it's
want to make sure we don't get a shitty Prey game.
No, I think it's true because I mean I was talking to somebody in a video game store like a couple of months ago, more than a couple of months ago. It was a while ago. This is an old anecdote, but I'll tell it anyway. We were talking about Bethesda games, and we were talking about Skyrim actually, and he goes, this guy I was talking to, he goes, well, I'm a little worried about Skyrim because Bethesda put out Rogue Warrior. What is it? Bethesda put out Hunted Demon Forge, and that
You mean that game that you bought day one?
It wasn't day one. I bought it to review for this website. I sacrificed.
Since you're such a big Arcane fan, you must be really excited about Wasteland 2.
Not really.
Or not Arcane, In Exile.
Not really.
Since it's the same company.
But anyway, this person, going back to my story, said, I'm not so sure about Skyrim. I'm a little worried about it because they put out Hunted Demon's Forge, and he mentioned one other game, I think Rage. And he's like, those weren't. I wasn't really too impressed with those. And I had to tell them, like, look, Bethesda has two arms. One's a publisher, one's a developer. Bethesda does publishing as well as developing. Bethesda didn't develop those games, so don't worry about Skyrim. It's going to be fine. And I think Bethesda kind of realized that their name was being sullied by, things like Rage, which I know a lot of people, including Chris Davis, love, but Rage didn't do very well. I didn't like it either. And Hunted Demon's Forge was not very good at all. It was awful.
Here's the thing about Chris Davis. He loves all games with guns.
He's a big gun guy.
He does love the guns.
He loves Modern Warfare 3. He's a big Modern Warfare 3 fan. Love the guy to death, but we all have our sins. He just requires some absolution.
He's a Texas boy.
You're a Texas boy.
We like our guns.
What is the Texas thing with guns?
I don't know.
You're just afraid of Mexican people?
I guess.
Going on to news. That's all I got. Anyone else have anything news-wise, newsworthy that happened recently?
I had a Dorito shell taco today.
What was
for the first
that?
time.
What do you think? See, you know what the background of that is?
No.
Somebody told me that those were first developed in jail.
Why?
Yeah. Prisoners who wanted tacos. So they had to use Doritos because it's all they had.
They could have Doritos, but they couldn't have tacos?
Exactly. The same way they can't have vaginas, so they suck cock.
Yeah, I see.
So when you have a Dorito taco, you're kind of having a big black dick version of a taco.
Well, it's not just any kind of big black dick. It's a prison dick.
It's a prison black dick.
Yes.
Why does the dick gotta be black?
So how was your black taco dick, Bob?
It tastes like Doritos.
As they do, from what as
Why are
they.
you being racist?
That's not racist. Doritos are delicious.
Well, what I was wondering is, why is it nacho cheese? Why can't they have Cool Ranch? Or
Because
Cooler Ranch?
blacks are tired of the ranch by now.
If we're going for dick euphemisms, it's got to be ranch.
It's got to be ranch, I guess. So how was it? Was it awful? As awful as I would imagine?
It was all right. I mean, Taco Bell really just has 5 ingredients, so
Yeah, every put together different ways.
yeah,
And
it was fun.
this was a Dorito.
It was a Dorito shell. Yeah,
Did it add to it? Or?
it was okay. Yeah, but really, I don't know if I can really tell the difference.
You don't sound very impressed.
No, I wasn't. I was not as impressed as I thought I would be.
Maybe they should go to Pringles.
Pringles.
Pringles, yeah. Would Pringles be better?
Oh no, Fritos.
No,
No,
Fritos.
they actually already have a Frito taco in Taco Bell.
Fritos are awful.
Really?
Yes.
Fritos are awful. You know those people who grow their fingernails as long as they can for Guinness Book of World Records. Whenever I see Fritos, it feels like they took their nails and then finally cut them into 1.5-inch pieces and here you go. Here's some
Deep
fucking
fried 'em?
Fritos.
I actually love Fritos, and I know they still exist, but if anybody can find me a bag of jalapeno flavored Fritos, please feel free to send them to our P.O. box because they don't sell them around here, and I love them.
Why do you like the Fritos even after I told you they're long,
No,
gross white
jalapeno-
fingernails?
Jalapeno flavor.
See, I don't like fake jalapeno because it tastes like mold and smells like mold.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be eating mold, and maybe you wouldn't know what it tastes like.
I don't ever remember eating mold, but you can smell mold. I mean, don't you know? Don't you know?
Well, they have Frito pies down in the south, right? Texas area.
Indeed.
Frito pies? I can't imagine why you're all obese down there. I can't imagine.
Well, do you know what a Frito pie is?
I can imagine, but why don't you enlighten me?
Well, I just know the version we got in San Francisco, so I don't know if it's actually legitimate or not.
If it's from
It's like
San
Texas chili.
If it's from San Francisco and it's supposed to be from Texas, it's probably not legitimate.
Probably not. Yeah, it's just Texas style chili, which I don't really know if that's really Texas style over Fritos. So you have a Frito bed, you throw chili on top of it, throw cheese on top of that.
Wow.
And unfortunately, our expert left.
There was this Girl I was dating once. She put a bag on my door while I was at work, and I opened up, and it was like what are those little potato thing? What is wrong with that dinosaur? There's one of those little like tater tots. It was tater tot casserole.
What?
She made
In
me,
a bag?
She made that wasn't in a bag. It was a Tupperware in a bag. It wasn't just in
Okay.
a bag. But she made me tater tot casserole. I thought that was very nice.
Okay, I was just gonna say if she left a bag of food at your doorstep, that'd be kind of weird.
I would have expected it from her actually, but she made me tater tot casserole. Should we interview the dinosaur that had sex with Nick? Is that what that is?
Actually, I think it's just a screen away for Brad. But you did mention something, I think last week, or was it the week before? I had mentioned something about orgies in kindergarten. And you
It's
had
too,
a story tied to that.
it's too late for that.
Is it too late for that?
We will tell that. No, we'll do that. We'll take the World of Warcraft design philosophy, and we'll leave carrot on the stick and say, if you guys show up next week for cocktail time, I will show my kindergarten teacher at the. I will tell my kindergarten teacher at the orgy story.
That's amazing.
And we'll save it for next week.
I want to hear that one.
It's probably not as good as you think.
Probably
but,
not.
But it's the kindergarten teacher. I'm gonna write it down. Tell the kindergarten teacher at the orgy story. With exclamation points. There you go. So, all right, I think we're done here. I think we're done with news. We're done with everything else, and Brad is now a dinosaur.
What?
We're done. Anything else you want to add, Brad? Dinosaur?
Final words?
Final words.
I hope Dragon's Dogma is really good. I'm super excited for that game.
I have really high hopes. I'm worried about it, but I don't think I should be. I shouldn't, like, when that demo came out and it was the same one, it made me worry, but Capcom makes really bad decisions a lot in their marketing, and I'm just going to put that up to that, and I'm going to expect it to be wonderful. And some of the hands-on I've seen, like people who've had the full game, have been great. So I think it's going to be good.
Good.
Yeah.
I sure hope so.
Yeah. Bob, any final words?
Bees.
Bob,
Bees.
good luck. Good luck with your bees tomorrow.
It's fucking bees. Everywhere.
Have you been stung yet, Bob?
No. Not yet. They're gonna make him mad tomorrow. Oh.
Interesting.
What if they come back? What if they come back for revenge?
I hope not. Then I'm gonna film it, and it's gonna be a really terrible 80s movie.
I mean, these bees, they found their home. They found their comfort. They found their sense of being. Walls. So you're just gonna you're going, yeah, see, get that? Their sense of being in your walls, and you like a horrible Indian landlord are just gonna kick them out of the street because they haven't paid their dues yet.
Yes, and that's how Max Payne 3 starts.
That's right. And he has to kill all the bees because they killed his family, and he's shooting the bad guys just because he thinks the bees are around them. He's really just shooting Max Payne 3. In Max Payne 3, he's really just trying to shoot bees, and all these all these other people keep getting in the way. And he's like, God damn it, I'm just trying to shoot these bees.
You need to be careful, Bob.
You need to be careful.
You need to be careful. You've had quite a bit to drink. I don't want you bumbling around over there with all those bees around.
Hey, Bob, if the bees come in, just wing it.
Maybe you should play some Flower. Or
maybe they can get him out with a Stinger missile.
maybe you should listen to the Hives. And
that's awful.
Or Sting. Listen to some Sting.
I think that's the wrong message I want to send to those bees.
Have you been listening to a lot of Sting? Maybe that's,
Yeah, maybe. They've been pretty mellow recently, so.
Hey, someone in chat says you look pretty buzzed, Bob.
That's awful.
Oh, man. Well,
Hey, have you ever played the download game Swarm? I heard that's pretty good.
No, but I've heard a lot of buzz around it.
Oh! All right, we should end this. We're done. We are so done. All right, thanks everyone for coming out for Cocktail Time Live tonight on Sunday. We'll be back next week, next Sunday, 8 o'clock at 4playerpodcast.com. I'll be here. Most probably Bob will be here. I'm not sure where our third guest will be. Maybe Brad, maybe Nick, maybe somebody. We'll have a third seat filled. But thanks for coming out. 4playerpodcast.com. You guys have a good night.
Peace out.
Ludicrous speed! Go!